Hello, good afternoon. This is Keith with Profit Lifter. Today we are going to be talking about automating your power dialer and follow-up sequences. I'm running a little bit behind schedule here, so I'm going to do just a little bit of cleanup work and make sure that everything is showing where it needs to, that everything's going in, and we're going to chat for a second while I'm getting everything set up for you guys here. If you're joining me, let me know. Tell me hi. Give me a thumbs up. Let me know that you're hanging out with me here and checking in the group. Let's make sure that you guys get to see my pretty face this afternoon. There we are. All right, very good, very good. All right, one more thing to set up here, and we will be ready to rock and roll. So this morning I woke up, and I know we had talked about doing a webinar funnel for today. I was looking over my past lives and what we've done up until this point, and realized that we covered a lot of the webinar last time. So what we're going to do today is we're actually just going to we're going to create an automated power dialer is really where what we're doing here, and this is so much fun. I am going to need your guys' interaction with me today, so like as you guys are here, I'm going to start throwing in forms and stuff in the chat, so that you guys can see this in action and what it actually looks like. I'm not sure that's going to work completely with the new system, but that's okay. But we're going to build this out, and we're going to have a lot of fun doing this because this is a fun tool that I think once you get into this, you're going to realize it's going to change how you look at making sales calls. Because one of the biggest problems with making sales calls is keeping yourself organized, getting through, picking up, dialing, all that fun stuff. So what we're going to do is we're going to automate as much of this as we possibly can today, so that we can make it where you can get in here, call as many leads as you can, optimize your time. If you're working with a sales team, this is something that you can implement for them as well. Hey, Will, glad you could be here. Man, you've been a rock star hanging out with me all week, or since we started this, so really appreciate you being here today. All right, give me just a second. I'm getting our account set up here real quick while I'm chatting at you. Like I said, I'm running a little bit behind today, and it still feels like morning. That's how far I am behind, even though it's noon now. Because as a business owner, your days just kind of melt away when you're not expecting it, and things just happen. All right, so it looks like I have my power dialer CRM set up. So let's hop over here and share this with you guys so you can see it. And we are going to get rocking and rolling here. Appreciate you guys hanging out with me while I'm getting everything up and going. Move my screens around and let's do the dance. Lost my screen 1 second here. There we are. Okay, here we go. Here we go. Okay, so now the cool thing and the really fun part about this, guys, is that as we're getting in here and we're doing this, this is actually going to be something that is going to be added to your click and play library, meaning that after we're finished with this, we'll do our cleanups, we'll record your videos, and then we'll make it where all you have to do is go into the resource library, hit go, and add this to your Profit Lifter or Go High Level account, and get yourself up and rocking and rolling. So let's break down what the power dialer is. I've showed you this. I've explained this a couple times, but this bears repeating, because this is kind of the core piece of where this hangs out. So when you're inside of your account, you're going to notice that there's not like a section that says power dialer. This is actually called manual actions. And the reason it's called manual actions is because there's several different types of actions that you can have. What we're gonna do in here is we're gonna actually build this out so that you've got different workflows that you can start putting lists into, and that way, like as you're going through this, you can have one specific call list. You may have one that's new leads, you may have follow-ups, whatever. But then we're going to automate your follow-up process and your follow-up calls with this as well. So this is a lot of fun. This is something I've been wanting to build for a long time. And the reason I'm so excited about this is because I build so many different types of automations that sometimes it's just not a challenge anymore. This one's going to be a little more of a challenge, so you guys may actually see my brain scramble a bit, and you get to see you may get to test out my shortcomings on this. All right, so the first thing that we need to do now with the power dialer, this is all an internal process, so there's nothing on the outside that we need to connect with this, because really what we're doing is you're going to be using SmartList, you're going to be using your sales pipeline, the people that you're working with. That you're going to be able to put into the places that you want to go with it. So we're going to name this power dialer. And we're going to call this one new leads. Now, we're going to our trigger. Now, with this, your trigger is going to be your tags on this, meaning that like while you're in here working and while you're talking with somebody, all you're going to have to do is actually create a tag for this, and it's going to trigger this sequence for them. So we're going to call this PD for power dialer, and we're going to call this new lead. Let's just call it new leads. That's all we need. It doesn't need to be super complex, because once it's done, it's done. So the trigger is this trigger is going to start is. Sorry, I'm just labeling this so when you guys hop in here, you can see it. So this is going to be what's going to start it. I showed you this before, and this isn't really the complex part. The complex part is going to be the automations that we're going to build after this. So what we're going to do is we're going to add a manual action call. And so basically, when you tag it, everybody's going to sit here until the manual calls have actually been made. And then from here, we're going to remove the contact tag because we don't need it anymore. And if for some reason that you want to add somebody back in here, this could be a good way to follow up with people on a daily basis. There's a lot of different ways that you can structure this and really turn it into something that makes sense for you. So we're going to put that. And really, this is the simplicity of the dialer. That's all we need to do for this as new leads. So we've got that one, and we're going to open up. We're going to go ahead and open up another tab while we're here, and then from here we're just going to duplicate this workflow. And instead of new leads, we're going to call this lead FUP. And if you ever wonder what that's for, it's really simple. Follow up. It's just an abbreviation for it. And so now we're going to hop in here. Now, one thing to keep this separate, what we're going to do is we're going to add a different tag. So our first one's going to be the one to add new leads is going to be new leads. This is going to be lead F up. So lead follow up. And we're just going to leave it there. And we're going to do the same thing. We're just going to remove lead follow-up from here once that call has been made. Easy enough, right? So far, so good. All right, so these two tags are going to basically set everything up here. Now this one that we're going to get into, this is actually going to be we're going to automate this in a pretty significant way here. So follow-up is going to be manual calls. We're going to set this up. Let's see. All right, so how do we want to do this? So we're going to do, we're in contact tags. It's going to be lead follow-up, PD, lead follow-up. So this first one, what we're going to do is we're actually going to break this out into an if-else scenario. We're going to wait to do that for right now. And we're going to add some more tags while we're in here. Tag added. And this is going to be PD lead follow-up. One D, and we're just going to replicate this a bunch actually. Tag, contact tag, tag added. PD lead F up. 2 days. So what I'm doing is I'm creating different tags based on how long. That's not what you were thinking. I'm not gonna lie. The reason that I like putting that in there, follow-up is it's a good it's my way of keeping myself entertained while I'm doing some of this stuff as well. I'm not gonna lie. That's not always the first thing I'm thinking, but yes, the FUP is for follow-up. Just because we don't want to have that long tag that's out there, we want to keep this want to keep it condensed. So let's put this one. Let's make sure we're labeling this new PD lead half up 1 day. PD lead half up follow up 2 days. Yes, I'm just going to start saying follow up so it brands it in my head too. Contact tag, and let's add another. Unfortunately, one of the things that is tricky about this is that you do have to have individual ones. You can't put them all in at the same time. And this can be a little tedious, but that's okay. The reason we want to do this is because when we're done with this, as you're talking with somebody, you're going to be able to actually put them into, you're going to be able to tag the contact. We're going to have it, we're going to set up a wait period, or we're going to send out an email, have a wait period that goes with it, and then add them back to the manual call after that. So what that means is you're going to be able to wake up in the morning, pull a list, and have and see exactly who you need to call, who you need to contact for that. 3D. And you can see this is gonna take a little bit for this. I wonder, I've actually never tried to add this. Let's see if we can just add this. Nope, it has to be one time. That's okay. I'm okay with that. Tag, and for this, for right now, we're gonna put this kind of as a 7-day touch. That way we can just make sure F follow up 5 days. So we're going to put it for about a week out. Contact tag. Six days. 6 days. And contact tag. We're just gonna, like I said, we're just gonna do this first one for a week, and then I'm gonna have my team come behind us and finish building this out for you, so that way you can have a big long range of follow-up calls here. So we're gonna call that one 7 days. So that gives you about a week worth of follow-up with that, which I think that's a great way to get started. Let's add a couple more in here for long term. So we're going to move this to, you know what? Let's just leave it there for now. I think that's a good starting point for us. That's still a lot of tags. That's still a lot of triggers that we're going to be working with there, and we want to make this nice and easy. All right. So next we're going to go to the automation. Doesn't need to be easy. One thing to keep in mind is while you're doing this stuff, the automations don't always need to be easy, but the use of it does, because if you're not using it properly, it's going to it's going to be tough for you. All right, so we're going to go off workflow trigger and then we're going to select the workflow trigger that we want. There we are with that. Is it is not letting us do that, and the reason it's not letting us do this is pretty simple. Let's I thought there was a way to remove that. There's not. Okay. So once you're done with all of your triggers, to get the if then, you do have to refresh it so it pulls everything back in here. All right, let's see what's happening. Shot back in here. Okay, let's get back in this. So if then scenario, and we're going to do contact trigger there's our list. Lead follow-up. Call this PD lead follow-up. This one's going to be PD lead follow-up 1D. It's the same name as the tags. That way, like as you're getting in here and you're working on it, there we go, you can easily find what you're looking for. PD lead follow-up 2 days. Select workflow trigger is 2 days. Add branch. Copy, paste, 3 days. So while I'm doing this is a bit monotonous, but I'm going to open up the floor to you guys to start asking questions while I'm doing some of this manual stuff. Anything that I can chat at you about while I'm working on this for you. Any questions? One thing that I was actually talking with Brett this morning, having a nice little powwow, and we were talking about not this Friday. This Friday we're going to be digging into the building out the affiliate program. Where's my 4 days? I think I forgot to put 4 days in here. Or did I? Let me see what's happening here. Okay. 62. Let's see. That's 2, right? 6, 5, 7, 3. I don't have day 4 in here. 4-day follow-up. Okay, let's add one. contact tag, tag added, 4-day. There we go. Follow-up 4-day. Okay, here we go. All right, and then we're going to save this and refresh it so we can make sure that trigger pulls in properly. Exciting stuff happening over here. I think once you guys get in here and you start using this, this is going to, you're going to have a lot of fun with this. This is, I've done this before, and it's like when I was making calls, I would actually set this up, and the productivity from it is just staggering. It makes it where you can just sit there, smile, dial. You don't have to think about, who do I need to call next? Who am I talking to? You literally just take about 5 minutes every morning, pull your list, make sure you've got everybody that you go in and tag who you want, and then from there, now it's going to it's going to automate your follow-up process, your sales follow-up. Again, this isn't your marketing follow-up. This is actually your phone calls. So this is going to be tying directly into your phone system inside of the CRM, making sure that so that it can keep track of it and automating that process. So last one, we've got this for 7 days. And the reason, now that I'm looking at this, I don't think I actually want to go any further than 7 days, because for me, if I'm not touching a lead within a week, I'm probably not going to put them in a follow-up sequence, because I feel like you should be touching your clients or your leads more than once a week, even if it's a manual touch, just going through and looking at it and making the calls with it. Okay. All right, so now that we've got all of our tags and we've got our automation set up, the next thing that we want to do is we're going to figure out, now we need to be thinking through, okay, what exactly, or what's our next step in this process? So what do we want to have happen? So the way that I'm envisioning this, envisioning this is that, like, if what I would want to have happen, so I'm on the phone with them, the dialer calls and I don't get an answer, I go in, I add a tag to it, and I want to have it send an email. I'm going to have it send an email, send a text message, and then from there, so after that, so it's going to make the call, it's going to make the text message, and then remove the tag, and then it's going to wait. No, we're going to have it wait first. Okay, so this first one, I'm actually not going to put a wait period on it. The reason is this: the one that's just the power dialer lead follow-up. This one is going to be specific for like ones that are new for that day. So like if you hop in, you're like, here's the people that I'm going to call today. Cool, no problem. It's from there. All the rest of these are going to be scheduled out. So first thing we're going to do is we're going to do a manual call. Now, how do we? Now, the next thing that I want to think about. Okay, so here's my thought process. My brain's going, but I'm not communicating. So let me let me take you through my thought processes of what I'm thinking here. So if you call somebody, what it's going to be dependent on is going to be based off of their reaction or the interaction from the call, or how the call happens. Let's try this. No, that's not it. And here's the reason why. Because like if we go through and we automate something that says, if we automate something that says, here's what's going on, here's where we're at, or if you automate like a missed you, if you do talk to them after that manual call is made, it's automatically going to send that information out. So what we want to do, I think what we need to do with this is we need to make this where it's actually not sending out the emails and the text messages, just because, yeah, the status of the call is going to be that way. So we're going to just do the manual call. We're going to remove the tag afterwards. Is there anything else that we need to have happen after that? So you go through there, and then it's going to be up to the user to determine what the next steps are. Okay, I think that makes sense. Nope, we don't want to comment that. What we want to do now, we're actually going to copy all actions from here, and we're going to paste it right here. So this is going to be a manual call. And remove tag. This is going to be 1 day. And we are going to wait. Okay, so here's the next thing that I'm thinking about. With our wait time, what we need to be concerned about is, like, let's say you make a call at 5 o'clock at night, and you're like, I need to follow up with them tomorrow, and I didn't get them, want to call them back tomorrow. Now, from there, if we just put it at 1 day, like if we come in here and we go, it's going to be one day, then what's going to happen is that's going to wait a full 24 hours before it's going to put it back through this sequence or allow the call to show up in the power dialer. So we need to be a little more strategic about this. We're actually going to put this on advanced view. And we're going to go, we want to make sure that it's between, let's bump this start time down to 8 a.m. because just because they're showing up in here doesn't mean that you have to be calling them. That's going to be up to you. But what I'm doing is I'm creating a window for this timer to kind of segment through the list here. So I think I'm just going to put this at 12 hours, because even if you talk to somebody at 8 in the morning, it would be 8 at night, and then yeah, that makes sense. So it would automatically wait until the next day if it's not within that window. Yeah, that makes sense to me. For day 1, okay. And let's just name this so we have it. Not 12. We're going to make that wait 12 hours. Now, the trick to this is going to be, now what we're going to do essentially is we're going to, let's make sure I got the right ones off here. Yep. Follow up 1 day. All right. Remove the tag. Okay, cool. Makes sense to me. Next, we're going to copy all actions from here, paste here. Now on this one, we are going to put this on days. Okay, so what I'm working on here, what I'm trying to figure out here. So here's where I'm thinking through this. So like as we get started, can more than one phone campaign be ran at the same time? Yeah, if you have multiple phone lines. So like you can only one person can call out on the line at one time. So like if you have multiple people, they would all have the goal is that they'd all have their individual phone numbers that they would be making outbound calls on. If they're doing that, yeah, you can have everybody be running these. You could have a team of 20 people in here using the power dialer and doing the follow-up systems from here. Yeah. So yes, you can have more than one campaign running. Okay, so where I'm stuck on this is that if I do 2 days, if it's at 5 o'clock, it wouldn't show up until 5 o'clock. I want to see, I kind of want to see if if we can do it this way. So we're going to have it wait for 1 day. And we're just going to copy this one action. Yeah, okay. I think that's the way we do that. So this should clean this up for us. So we're going to put that at 2 days. Let's just make sure we're naming it properly so we're keeping track. 2 days. Okay. Cool. I think this makes sense. If you see a flaw in my logic, please comment and let me know. Like, I would love to hear your feedback. If there's something that I'm not thinking about on here, throw it out and let me know. I'm not proud. I'm more than happy to make sure that it's that I'm thinking through things properly. 3 days. 3 days. Oh, let's change this back to make sure we're naming it properly. And we're going to make this 3 days. Right? Yeah, I'm already on day 4. Man, we're cooking along in here. 3 days, and this is going to be 4 days. Save action. Of course, I forgot to add that. So let's just update this real quick. So 4 days, perfect. Next, let's come in here. We're gonna, no comments. Come on, fat fingers. Let's do this right. Copy all actions from here. Copy here, wait 12 hours, more wait 4 days. That's right. 4 days, save action. And the beauty of this, guys, is if I get in here and test this, I can update this and make sure that it's working for you. Because I'm gonna have Brett test it for us first, make sure that it's working for all of the calls for you guys. All right, that's 5 days. We're cooking now. 4 days. 4 days. Yep. 4.5. All right. 5. Copy all actions from here. Oops. Copy here. That was wrong. It's okay. We're just going to copy this action, paste it here. There we go. 5 days. Rename it. 5 days. And remove 6-day follow-up tag. Okay, and day 7. And 6 days. Make sure I'm naming it properly. 6 days. And remove tag. Power dialer lead follow-up 7 days. Okay, and that's it. So this is what our automation looks like now that we've got it all mapped out here. And again, this is going to 7 days. So man, this didn't take as much time as I thought. So let's save this. So now, if somebody is making a manual call, let's just run through our logic here. We're going to create a contact here. Add a contact. Power dialer test email. And that doesn't really matter, does it? Phone number 816-678-991. 877-661-1155. There we go. Lead contacts, fine. Fine. All right, so we have our power dialer test dummy. Now, let's talk about using this. So what's going to happen is like when you're in here, you're going to need to add a contact tag first. It seems like it's hard to find, but really, if you just collapse all your sections in here, it'll pull it up right there. So let's put it into power dialer new leads. And now let's make sure our automations are turned on and working. Yeah, new leads. It's right there. Okay, cool. All right, what I'm doing here is I'm going through and I'm looking at the automation sequences and making sure that everything's firing properly. So, yep, now you can see down here under the active automation workflow power dialer new leads right there. Now, if we come up to conversations, we click manual actions. Look at that. And we're going to go power dialer new leads. And that is going to pull it all up. Yet to start, if you want to have it, I don't have any assignees in here since this is going to be a tying into your system. That'll pull up all your assignees. And then again, this isn't an input feature. This is functionality inside of the CRM. So we're automating the functionality inside of the CRM. So now we're going to click Let's Start. It's not going to work because it's a brand new account. There's no phone system actually tied in here. So it's not going to do anything. But what I want to see is if it actually removes the tags for us and handles all that side. So you come in, the system gives them a call, looks great, you're happy, everything's working fine. And then you come in and you go, and then you send out an email. Like let's say you have your templates built out, so you send a sales email from there. Come over SMS, you got your timer going, you click your SMS for your follow-up, and you hit send, and you're done. And then all you have to do is come back in here, and we're going to say, you know what, I didn't talk to him. I want to follow up with him tomorrow. And what I'm doing now is I want to make sure that the manual action actually got removed from before. So this one's showing in progress because, it's because the system isn't working. Okay, yeah, but the setup for the power dialer is actually done. It's really, I was a lot more intimidated by that than I needed to be. That actually wasn't a terrible build out at all. So the next thing I want to do is I just want to take this out of here real quick. And now we're going to run a test for you guys, and we're going to see how this looks. So power dialer test, manual action with waiting. Yep, there we go. Add it to workflow. Cool. All right. So it looks like everything is working the way it's supposed to. This is all set up. There we go. It's got the lead follow-up. Let's come in here, make sure that it segmented it where it needed to go. Look at there. Right there under the power dialer lead follow-up one day. There's our test dummy, Keith. All right. Perfect. That's exactly what we wanted. So this would wait 12 hours, meaning it'd be noon tomorrow. Man, I really need to think through that. I need to think through that time. No, that'd make it midnight. Yeah, so that's right. Yeah, that's exactly right. That's doing what it should be doing there. So yeah, this is okay. So this is good. All right, we're gonna get a little crazy here, and we're going to do a little magic on the back end without you guys seeing it here, because there's some sensitive data in this area. And we're just going to create our snapshot with this. Click and play. Power dialer. Power dialer. Save. So what I'm doing is I'm actually setting this up so that I can import it into our Profit Lifter account. And I'm going to create a form for you guys if you want to see it in action, just so we got a little bit of extra time on this because it didn't take quite as long as I thought it was going to, which is awesome. I have no problems with that. Okay. Let me grab our account here. And we've got this here. Sorry, I know this is not exciting yet, but give me just a second and we will have this ready to go. Power dialer, proceed. Select all. That works. Okay. Now, while that is loading, we're actually going to come over to our Profit Lifter account, and we're going to build you guys a really quick form here. I'm going to start from scratch. So if you guys want to test this with me, put a 1 in the chat for me if you're willing to test this and get a phone call from me, and let me know that you're okay with that. And we're going to call this Power Dialer Testing. Test the Power Dialer. Save. Now, just because you have a form, this magic key of understanding automation is just because you have a form doesn't mean your automation's set up properly. So next thing we're going to do is we're going to create you just this nice little funnel here. Actually, we're going to create an automation for it. PD tester. All right, and we're going to add a trigger. This is going to be a form submitted, add filter, form is, power dialer testing, perfect. And so now we're going to go in here to contact tag. Let's see if our tag's loaded. Boom, look at there. Look at there. PD, new leads, and we're going to add this. So we're going to hit save action, publish this bad boy. And last step in this process is I'm going to make you a really quick little landing page. Power dialer tester. I got one of you who's willing to help me. I appreciate you for that. All right, landing page. Call create funnel step. It's gonna be real simple, real easy here. So don't get super excited that this is gonna be something complex, but just want to show you the process in action. So we're gonna tie this to our Profit Lifter account so that it doesn't look spammy. And we're just going to create this from blank. form. Where is my form? Well, where are you, form? I think I'm moving fast. There we go. Power dialer testing. Save. Publish. Okay, I'm going to throw this in the chat. So if you see this, fill out this form for me, and we're going to test our automations. We're going to make sure this is actually working on a live phone system here. So it should be PD tester. Cool. All right. No thank you pages, nothing like that. But let's so we'll put that in there. I think I need to throw it into. Oh, James, you're willing to help. Appreciate that, man. All right, so there is the form. I'm going to test this for myself as well. App, profitlifter.com. Phone. Let's do office phone. I agree. Test the power dialer. Love the power dialer. Thank you for taking time to complete this form. Now let's go take a look at our manual actions and make sure that everything's loaded in here. Look at there, right at the top. I've got a bunch of people in here already. So we're going to go to workflow, power dialer, new leads. Look at that. And so we've got James and Keith in here. Now I'm going to show you how this works, and we're going to rock and roll from there. This may be a little wonky, starting with mine. That's okay. I don't know why my screen just froze up like that. Now, one piece of one warning that I am going to give you with this is that when you use this dialer, sometimes it does get a little bit buggy, and you got to pay attention to what's happening inside of there, inside of the CRM, because it is possible that it will get buggy on it. All right, so James, appreciate you helping out on that. Anyone else want to jump in? You can throw in your information there. But now we're going to go, let's start. And so this is you're just sitting here on the phone. Like I would come in and go, oh. So I may say missed appointment. However you want to do that, email. Okay. Now we're going to say this is a no answer. So you notice up here that it's got a countdown before it goes to the next lead. We're going to pause this real quick so that I make sure that I have time to get through all this stuff. So let's say I've got an email that I want to send, do NSF, whatever, however that works. So, but you can see like with this, what we built, you can actually do this with just about anything. New opportunity. I think I lost that opportunity. All right, so next we're going to come down here. We're going to add tags, and we're going to go PD lead follow up 1 day, and that's all I need to do. So now I would need to make the next call, and you'll see it's calling James. So see if James picks up. I know he's. Hey James, you're live with Keith. Good. You enjoying this power dialer training today? Awesome. Awesome. Well, I appreciate you helping out and filling out the form for me and picking up. And I'm going to hang up now and keep going through the rest of the training here. Thanks, James. All right, you're done. And then from here, now you're going to be able to go complete it. And you can see that once it's done, done. It closes out and move and then takes you back to your big list. Last thing that we're going to check here is we're actually going to come in here and we're going to look for power dialer and lead follow up. And we're just going to check to make sure, and looky there. All right. So that's it. Your power dialer is up and ready to plug in. How many times can we contact a person a day without it being considered harassment? I think that really depends. I think that's a great question, though. I think like two, I think is very safe, especially like on an initial call. Like if somebody reaches out, call them two, maybe even 3 times a day. Really, the thing that you're watching for is space. Like if somebody calls me like every hour on the hour, I'm gonna be irritated. I'm gonna be like, don't call me ever again. If they call me in the morning, call me at lunch, and then call me towards the end of the day, especially like if I requested information or opted into something, that's a lot different. But like your follow-ups, I would do like 1 a day or 2 a day if they ask you to call them back on a specific day. But the way that you would automate that process is actually like after you make the call, if they don't pick up, that's where your first, yep, lead follow up. This is going to be the tag that's going to be the just lead follow up. There's no wait time. It would put them back into your manual call list for that day. So that way, like as the power dialer is rolling through, you'd be able to put them back in there, and it's going to move it down. It should move it down to the end of the list, and then so that like you can make all your other calls before you call them back, which I think kind of puts you into a good kind of a good cadence with making those calls. But to recap, everything's set up. You saw how it works. Now, if you want to change this, you can. The other thing that you can do with this, guys, like the opportunities become endless. Like if you deal with like if you have a subscription model and you get people that just miss payments, you can set up a power dialer NSF list. What about emails? How many times can we contact through different mediums or platforms? Tastefully, 2 to 3 times, 2 times, maybe 3 times on email the first day. And again, that's going to depend on what they're doing. Like if somebody's downloading a guide, there's always that built-in perception of like people understand when they download something from you that it's going to have that initial welcome email that's going to go out. But the other side is going to be, but like having a text message, having 2 or 3 text messages a day is a lot less offensive. Like it doesn't feel as intrusive because text messages are really quick, easy ways to get out there. So like if you wanted to be really, really aggressive, like I would have a new call sequence or a new lead sequence that would call at least twice a day, have 2 to 3 text messages that go out, have an initial welcome email, and then day one of your indoctrination sequence. And the other side of that is you have to think every time you're calling someone, if you don't get them, you would be sending them a missed call. You know what? That's actually a great idea. I know nobody said anything, but but the great idea is let's let next week when we're doing the content, we're gonna think through sales email strategies of like what kind of template emails that you need to have available quick on the fly, that you can send out to people almost instantly. But if you go this route, like think like if somebody like if I opt in for a lead magnet on your website right now, and I get an email from you, I get a text say, "Hey, thanks for downloading our free guide. Welcome to our company. Look forward to working with you." And then even if you do a voicemail drop, that's still expected for me. I'm also a marketer, but most people kind of expect that now. Then you call me and I don't pick up, and you just shoot me a message. Now, the difference between all of this is that the way that you position this, even if it's just you, is it really depends on who the message is coming from. So, like if you have a message that's coming from my company at info@mycompany.com, and it's all about, hey, welcome to our company. Here's what we do. Here's how we help. But then you give me a call, and so I get an email from owner at my company, and it says, hey, just left you a voicemail, I was trying to connect with you. That's going to feel different. That's going to have a different impact because now that's a back and forth communication. That's more of a personalized communication, where the one that's coming from the company is more of a company blast. So by masking it that way and making it coming from different people and having different functions inside of those communications lessens that impact of spamminess, if that makes sense. Because again, if you like if I download something, and then I get a call from somebody, and then I get an email from them specifically, but I also have the company emails, that doesn't feel as offensive. So like really you could call somebody 3 times a day, send them text messages, send them 2 to 3 emails, like send them an email from the company, send them an email from like a thanks for a download, or however you got them to opt in, your first day of your indoctrination campaign, and then a couple emails from you of, hey, just trying to reach out, I know you just downloaded this guide, want to talk to you, and then phrase it different. I think where a lot of people get in trouble is when you start getting into these aggressive models, these aggressive sales models, everything kind of becomes copy paste, where like if I see somebody sending me the same email 3 4 times in a row, I'm like, that's just lazy. That's just like you're not showing that you care enough about me to personalize the communication. So if you personalize the communication, you can still personalize and automate it. It just gets your automations start to become more complex and become more intricate based on your sales process. But that's okay, because that's kind of what you want to have happen. I am a firm believer that your automations, your processes, everything that you work on, they shouldn't be cookie cutter. Like having a cookie cutter base model, says the guy who's selling pre-built systems. But having a kind of the cookie cutter base model is okay. But like as you get into it, the sales process is going to be very specific to you, to how you like selling, your level of aggression, kind of on how you're going about it and how you're reaching out to people. So, but that's great questions there. Appreciate that question. But guys, Power Dialer is done. This one's not going to take very long for us to get uploaded. I think we should be able to have this ready to go, to automatically download into your Profit Lifter accounts tomorrow. So keep an eye out. I'll post it in the group once it's ready to go for all of you awesome users. So that way you can get in here, start using the Power Dialer to make as many calls as you can, least amount of time as possible, automate your sales process, and really take things to the next level. I'm super excited about this. I've had this in my mind for a long time, and I'm glad I was finally able to do this with you guys. This is much better than doing the webinar one. I'm really excited about this. So once we get it up, give me some feedback. Let me know how it's working for you, how the Power Dialer is helping you save time and the productivity with all of it. And if you have any other questions, throw them in the chat, chat in the group, send us smoke signals, however you need to reach us. We're always here for you. Appreciate you guys hanging out with me again. We are steadily, rapidly moving through the month of April. We have gotten a lot of cool stuff built for you guys, and keep an eye out. We had a little snag on getting the ebook lead magnet ready for the click and play library. But we're working through that now, and hopefully we should have that ready for you tomorrow, so you can start building your own lead magnets inside of the CRM, and then we should be able to have the power dialer up and ready for you tomorrow as well. So everything should be so you guys should be able to start coming in and start building some really cool stuff. And again, if you have any questions while you're going through it, let us know, and we'll make sure you have it. Have a great day, and we will see you guys next time. Thanks.